Hey everybody, and welcome to another deep dive. Today we're going to be tackling essential English phrases for everyday conversation.
Right.
And our source material is a really cool guide designed for beginners. And by the end of this deep dive, you're going to be equipped with the phrases to start speaking English with confidence.
That sounds great.
So I think we should jump right in.
Let's do it.
The guide starts off with greetings and introductions, which, you'd think are pretty simple.
Yeah.
But there's a surprising amount of nuance to it.
Absolutely.
So what are your first thoughts?
Well, it's not just about the words themselves. It's about the social rituals behind them.
Right.
For instance, how are you?
Yeah.
A lot of people are surprised to learn that it's not always like a genuine inquiry about your well-being.
Yeah, I always kind of thought of it as like a polite way to show interest.
It is, but in a lot of English-speaking cultures, it's more of a social custom than like a deep question.
Okay.
It's just a friendly opening to a conversation.
Gotcha.
So people expect you to respond positively.
Right.
Like, I'm good, thank you, or I'm fine.
Right.
Even if you're having like the worst day of your life.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So it's more acknowledging the greeting than actually giving away too much about your emotional state.
Exactly.
It's like this little linguistic dance.
It is a little dance.
Yeah.
It is.
That's fascinating to me.
Yeah. And, mastering these social niceties can really help you integrate into English-speaking environments.
For sure.
More smoothly.
And of course, on top of that, you need to know the basic greetings like hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Yeah. And it's important to remember those time-specific greetings.
Yes, you don't want to be saying good evening at 8 a.m.
No, you don't.
I actually did that once.
Oh, really?
In Spain, I very confidently greeted someone with buenos dias at like 3 in the afternoon.
Oh, no.
And they looked at me
like you were crazy.
Like I had 3 heads.
Yeah.
So.
But thankfully, hello works.
Hello's good.
Pretty much any time of day.
Yeah.
But you know what I've always wondered?
What's that?
Why is how are you so common in English greetings?
That is a good question.
Like, what's the origin of that?
I don't know. Maybe it evolved as like a way to break the ice and create a connection.
Yeah.
A little bit more of like a personal connection.
Yeah. Maybe it's from a time when people were more genuinely interested in each other's well-being.
Right.
Or maybe it's just some quirky linguistic habit that's stuck around.
I love that.
Who knows? But it's definitely a key phrase.
For sure.
To master.
If you want to sound natural and confident and comfortable when speaking English.
Yeah, but greetings are just the beginning.
Yay.
What happens when we need to ask for help?
Right, asking for help.
Yeah.
That's an essential life skill.
It is.
And especially when you're navigating a new language or culture.
It's so important.
Yeah. It can be tricky though.
Yeah, because
it's not always easy.
Sometimes you just want to be independent.
Right.
And you don't want to admit that you need help.
Yeah, you want to figure it out on your own.
Yeah, exactly.
But remember, most people are happy to help.
Right.
If you ask.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's key.
Yeah.
Simple.
Can you help me?
Can you help me?
Could go a long way.
Can go a long way.
Yeah.
And of course,
the
magic words, please and thank you.
Please and thank you.
Those little courtesies make all the difference.
They do.
In how your request is received.
100%.
Yeah.
Politeness is key.
Politeness is key.
And sometimes you need to be a little bit more specific with your requests.
Yeah. For example, if you're lost, you could say, excuse me, could you please tell me how to get to whatever location you're trying to get to?
Exactly. Specificity helps avoid misunderstandings.
Absolutely.
I remember one time I was in Italy and I was trying to find the bathroom in a busy market.
Yeah.
And I just kept saying bagno, which means bathroom in Italian.
Right.
But no one seemed to understand. Finally, I just resorted to miming.
Oh my gosh.
Which thankfully worked.
I can imagine that was quite the experience.
It was an experience.
Yeah.
But it just goes to show you, like, you need a few.
You need a few.
Key phrases. Even for simple requests.
Yeah. Even for the simplest things.
So imagine now.
Okay.
You've mastered greetings.
Okay.
You can ask for help when needed.
Yep.
And you're ready to explore the world of shopping and dining. What kind of phrases
what do we need?
Would you need
in those situations?
What would come in handy in those scenarios? Well, think about those like bustling markets.
Oh, yeah.
Or those cozy restaurants that you might encounter when you're traveling.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've definitely had my share of awkward moments.
Oh, I bet.
Trying to navigate those situations without knowing the language.
Yeah.
Like that time I tried to order a pizza in Italy using only hand gestures.
Oh, no.
If I had known a couple key phrases, it would have been so much easier.
Right, exactly. And imagine you're walking through a market.
Okay.
And you spot something. You could confidently ask, how much is this?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or if you're at a restaurant, you could say,
right.
Can I see the menu, please?
Yes.
Such simple phrases. But they can really empower you.
I think so too.
To interact with locals.
Yeah.
Feel more at ease.
And it's amazing how just a few words can boost your confidence so much.
Absolutely.
And make you feel more comfortable in a new environment.
100%.
Right.
And then once you've made your selection, you can proudly declare, I would like to buy this.
Yes.
Or I'll take this one, please.
Perfect.
And when you're ready to pay the bill, can I have the bill, please?
Easy.
So simple, but
they seem small, but they make a big difference.
They do.
In your overall travel experience.
It's all about feeling empowered to communicate your needs and desires.
Exactly.
And speaking of travel, I know our listener is eager to hear about essential phrases for navigating directions and getting around. Of course, because getting lost is practically a rite of passage.
It is.
For any traveler.
I've had my fair share of getting lost adventures.
I bet.
But it doesn't have to be a stressful experience.
No, it doesn't.
Like, I've learned that asking for directions can actually sometimes lead to some interesting encounters and unexpected discoveries.
Absolutely. And it's easier than you think.
It is.
All you got to do is say, excuse me, where's the whatever locations you're trying to find? Or how do I get to this place? Most people are happy to point you.
They are.
In the right direction.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to admit. If you're totally lost.
Just say, I'm lost. Can you please help me?
Yeah.
And people are generally quite helpful. Especially if you approach them with a smile. And a genuine request for assistance.
Yeah, I found that to be true.
It's amazing how a simple act of asking for directions can sometimes lead to unexpected conversations and cultural exchanges.
Yeah, like those unplanned interactions are sometimes the best memories of your travels.
100%. But, beyond the practicalities of getting around and finding things, I think it's the art of basic conversation.
Yes.
That truly enriches
the
travel experience.
You're hitting on something really important here.
Okay.
It's those casual conversations, those moments of connection with people from different cultures that can really broaden our horizons.
They can.
And the beauty of it is you don't need to be fluent to engage in meaningful exchanges.
You don't.
Just a few basic phrases can open up a world of possibilities.
Exactly. And you could start by asking, where are you from? Or what do you do?
Right.
These simple questions can spark fascinating conversations and provide glimpses into different ways of life.
It's like opening a window.
It is.
Into another culture.
It is.
And even if there are language barriers, a smile, a genuine interest, and a willingness to listen can go such a long way.
They can.
In bridging the gap.
And it's those nonverbal cues that often speak louder than words.
That's true.
But let's not forget the importance of active listening.
Active listening, that's a crucial point. What does that involve?
Active listening involves paying attention to what the other person is saying, both verbally and non-verbally, and responding in a way that shows that you're engaged and understanding.
It's so important.
Yeah, and if you're unsure about something, don't hesitate to ask for clarification. Things like, I don't understand, or could you please repeat that? Ensure clear communication. Yes.
And prevent misunderstandings.
Absolutely. It's all about creating a space where both parties feel comfortable and respected.
Exactly. And speaking of respect, I think it's important to touch upon the cultural nuances of conversation, especially when it comes to sensitive topics. Like age. So while asking someone's age might be a common conversation starter in some cultures, it can be considered impolite or even intrusive.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And others. I hadn't really thought about that.
Yeah.
So how do we navigate those cultural differences?
Well, it's all about being mindful and respectful of the local customs. In some cultures, it's perfectly acceptable to ask about age. While in others, it's best to avoid the topic altogether.
Okay, so it's really about doing a little research. And being aware of the social norms of the place that you're visiting.
Exactly. That makes sense.
Yeah. And if you're ever unsure, it's always a good idea to err on the side of caution.
Good advice.
Yeah.
I think it's so fascinating how language learning goes beyond just words.
It does.
It's also about understanding the cultural context and adapting our communication style accordingly.
It is.
It's a journey of discovery. Both linguistic and cultural.
And the more we learn about different languages and cultures, the more we expand our understanding of the world and our place in it.
I love that. It makes me think about how language learning can be such a powerful tool for personal growth. It's not just about acquiring a new skill. It's about broadening our perspectives. And connecting with people on a deeper level.
100%. It challenges our assumptions. It broadens our perspectives. And it ultimately helps us to appreciate the richness and diversity of human experience.
So for anyone out there thinking about learning English or any other language for that matter, I encourage you to embrace the journey.
Do it.
It's okay to make mistakes.
It is. That's how we learn. And grow.
The key is to keep practicing, keep learning.
Keep pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone.
And
and the more you use these phrases in real life situations, the more natural and confident you'll become.
This has been such an insightful deep dive. I feel like we've only just scratched the surface of this fascinating topic.
There's always more to explore.
There is.
When it comes to language and culture.
But I think we've given our listener a solid foundation. To build upon.
I agree.
It's amazing how much we've covered.
I know, right?
In this deep dive.
That's really cool.
From greetings and introductions to the nuances of asking for help, navigating shopping and dining. Even mastering the art of basic conversation.
It's a lot.
It is a lot.
We've really explored how language is so intertwined with culture.
Right.
And how those like subtle differences can shape our interactions.
And we've emphasized the importance of respect.
Right.
Mindfulness and a willingness to learn and adapt.
Absolutely.
I think you've given our listener a really fantastic toolkit.
Good.
For starting their English speaking journey.
Yeah, I really like this beginner's guide.
Me too.
Because it doesn't bog you down with like complex grammar rules or endless vocabulary lists.
It's practical.
It is super practical.
It empowers you with essential phrases that you need to actually start speaking right away.
Exactly.
I love that it's all about breaking down those barriers and showing that anyone can learn to communicate in English.
Regardless of background.
Regardless of their background or experience.
Yeah, exactly. And remember, fluency isn't about perfection.
Right.
It's about being able to express yourself.
Yeah.
And connect with others.
And don't be afraid to make mistakes.
Please don't.
Embrace them as learning opportunities.
That's how we get better.
Yeah. Mistakes are inevitable.
Oh, yeah.
But they're also valuable.
They are.
Stepping stones.
On the path to fluency.
Could not have said it better myself.
The key is to just keep practicing.
Right.
Keep learning.
Keep learning.
Keep pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone.
And the more you use these phrases out in the real world, the more natural and confident you'll become.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
This has been such a fun...
It has an insightful deep dive.
Yeah.
I feel like we've only just scratched the surface.
There's always more to learn when it comes to language and culture.
But I think we've given our listener a really solid foundation.
A great foundation.
To build on.
I agree.
So as we wrap up, I want to leave our listener with a thought-provoking question.
I like it.
What if you challenged yourself
to
use one new English phrase every day? How do you think that could transform your interactions?
Wow.
Your experiences and maybe even your perspective on the world.
That is a great challenge.
Yeah.
And imagine the possibilities that could unfold simply by like expanding your linguistic repertoire one phrase at a time.
You might surprise yourself with the connections you make, the confidence you gain,
the doors that open.
And the doors that open as you kind of embark on this language learning adventure. So to our listener, we encourage you to embrace the journey.
Embrace it.
Step outside your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Practice those phrases.
Practice, practice, practice.
And see where the path leads you.
You got it.
Who knows? That simple hello
could
be the start of something truly amazing.
It really could.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Thanks, everyone.